Clerk, please kindly proceed.
Motion. Be it resolved that this August Assembly do consider and adopt the motion for the government to amend the 1997 Constitution and provide a quota system that will enhance women's participation in leadership and governance in the Gambia. This motion will be moved by nominated member for West Coast Region.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move the motion that be it resolved that this August Assembly should actually consider and adopt the motion for the government to amend the 1997 Constitution and provide a quota system for women to take part in leadership and also governance. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. You might continue to state the reasons for this.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Looking at Africa, the Gambia to be precise, and how women are perceived in our societies, in our communities, and also at national level. We understand women face marginalizations, and they are mostly discriminated in societies, and this affects their daily lives and activities. And these discriminations are not only socially constructed gender roles, but it has gone beyond that. It has actually limit their participation, their contribution towards decisions that actually concerns them. It has limited them from actually contributing or giving up their opinions and ideas as to how policies and programs that are for them to actually understand and realize how best they can be advocated for. For that being the case, I feel as an assembly we have a moral obligation to reaffirm with the global and continental calls for sustainable development, to uphold the rights of women, and also to end the inequality gap. In as much as we have to do that, when we talk about the quota system as well, we are talking about a portion to be in the National Development Plan, to actually cater for women, a portion to actually tell us this is what we have for women, this is how far this is what we want to attain, when, where, and how. So the quota system actually is to entail some of the portions or some of the shares that women have by creating them platforms, by giving them avenues to actually talk about issues that concerns them, but also have a responsibility to actually contribute to the decision-making processes in the country. If you would allow me, Honorable Speaker, I will use Standing Order 23 to actually reference on some of the conventions that Gambia is signatory to give light on the subject matter.
Please go ahead.
So we understand that the Gambia is signatory to a number of key international charters, protocols, and human rights standards that are in relation to non-discrimination and also upholding women's rights. We understand that the women entitlement is a full participation in participation to full electoral processes are recognized by the UN, the AU, and other international organizations. Now you look at the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948, Article 19, would tell you everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expressions. And in as much as they have that, this right includes freedom of opinions without interference and to seek, receive, impact information and ideas through media, regardless of who the frontiers are. You look at another convention, that is the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights. You look at Article 3 of that convention would tell you the state parties to undertake to ensure equal rights of men and women to enjoy all civil and political rights as set forth in the present convenience that we have. Now you move down to the United Nations Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination and Violence Against Women, Article 4, that talks about the adaptation by state parties to temporarily specialized measures aimed at accelerating the factor equality between men and women. Now, Honorable Speaker, this is to say that in as much as looking at the gender stereotyping in our communities, looking at how people perceive women, looking at when it comes to decision-making processes, when it comes to leadership activities, when it comes to governance, they're always left behind. Because there's this notion that they cannot do as other genders are doing. They cannot actually advance the cause of women empowerment. They cannot actually advance the national development plan. But why actually I feel this should be a topic of discussion is because I feel women in political parties or women that are participating in politics, when given the capacity, the adequate capacity training, equipped with skills and experiences, they're able to render services to the nation. And we've seen great women doing great things, not only in the Gambia, but globally. And this is because of the skills that they acquire, that they equipped with, and that warrants them confidence. They're able to express themselves anywhere. They have the confidence, they understand matters that concerns them, and they're able to speak for themselves, and they're able to participate in decision-making processes that concerns them. So I feel as an assembly, we should discuss on the matters of women in actually taking leadership roles and responsibilities, but also in governance. Because if you empower a woman, you're actually empowering the whole nation, in quote. And also, you would understand that in as much as other genders can be frontiers, and as much as other genders can contribute to national development, if women are empowered, given the platforms and also the adequate skills and experiences, they're able to do better, they're able to handle better, and then they will be able to contribute immensely to the socio-economic development of the country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Any seconder? Honorable Member for Central Bariu.
Yes, good morning. Good afternoon, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for giving me the floor. Yes, I seconded the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this August Parliament do consider and adopt the resolution that the government to amend the 1997 Constitution and provide a quota system that will enhance women participation in leadership and governance in the Gambia. Those in favor say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, at this juncture, I would now open the floor for debates. Any honorable member who wants to contribute to the debate can do so by raising their tags to be called upon.
Point of observation.
Yes, honorable member.
Thank you. Even though you have rejected my points earlier on, I want to suggest time be allocated for this discussion, because since we didn't allocate time and the past motion, I have sleepless night. I have gathered ideas to come and express on those one with fact, but you rejected me. I don't know whether it was a premeditated thing. You saw me, and then your clerk also saw me, but all of you decided to reject me. And then that area, I was very much passionate to discuss about that one, and then you rejected me. So for this other one, let's allocate time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, honorable member. Be rest assured that you were not rejected. It's because of the number of tags that were up. So, and it was time to actually suspend the session. However, we would take note of the suggestion. So if the honorable members would agree to this, we will allocate a maximum of 5 minutes to each honorable member for deliberation on this matter. Those in favor say aye. Those not in favor say no. So the ayes have it. Therefore, the members will continue in the debate, and as you are told, please ensure that the debate is within 5 minutes. This doesn't mean you have to exhaust the 5 minutes. It could be within a minute or two, because we will definitely be battling against time. I'm sure the technicians will help us in terms of the timing so that you're reminded on the screen. Thank you so much. Honorable members, once again, we continue with the debate. Those that want to submit in this regard could please raise your tags. Honorable member for Bakau.
Okay, thank you very much. Greetings, Honorable House. Okay, I want to against this quotation system because when you look at the quotation system, when we want to impose this quotation system in the
point of observation, please. If the honorable member for Bakau would allow me to observe him.
No. when we want
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Go ahead, yes.
The Honorable Member for Bakau is saying quotation. It's quota system.
Thank you.
Pronunciation, English.
Resume, yes. Please go ahead. Honorable Member for Bakau.
Okay. So when we want to bring in this quota system into our system, the Gambian system, I feel like it's going to bring what we call inefficiency. Let's look at the percentage of women and the percentage of men in our society. When you look at it, we have more women in our society than men. And then if you look at the chance or the possibilities of women acquiring those positions, they are more if they really support each other and then they are really effective and then they shoot those positions. I don't think we really need to bring in any quota system that will support women. There are other ways. For the fact that I understand that women need to be empowered. But then I don't believe that if we bring in this quota system, it's going to bring in any efficiency. It's rather going to bring in inefficiency. Because when we have this quota system, it's going to make women, in fact, we will have positions that will be vacant, and women will be looking at each other for who will be in that position. So I think we should use other ways of empowering women, like giving them the necessary skills that they need to be in those positions, empowering them with the financial resources that they need to be in those positions. But bringing in this quotation system, it's going to make women like, this position is for you, whether you like it or not, come and take this position.
Please go ahead, Honorable Member for Serekunda.
The Honorable Member for Bakau is still repeating quotation. And it's misleading the audience that are watching us as well. It's quota system. English.
Thank you.
I'm very sorry for repeating the same thing. Quota system. So what I am saying is bringing in this quota system, it's going to bring in laziness among young women or ladies. So I will say that let the Honorable House bring in other methods or ways that will empower young women to take these positions that we believe men are taking. I believe if they are empowered in resources and then all the materials that they need, we don't need to bring in this quota system to empower women. So I think you guys should change your mind. Let us work together and make sure that you have all the necessary materials that you need to acquire a position, not the quotation system. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, Honorable Member for Serekunda, I've heard it. It's like the Honorable Member cannot do away with quotation.
The quotation system, it's quota system. I think after this we need to have class.
Yeah, for the records, it's quota system. I will now take Honorable nominated member for Banjul.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, suñ ne jigéen nekkut yaay rek, but suñ ne jigéen mooy suñ wéeruwaay ñu bugg ko ñu bañ ko te muy dëggal. Honorable Speaker, when we say women, many great things click our minds, and that is, these are people who are hardworking, determined, and ready to fight for what they deserve in today's generation. Honorable Speaker, according to the Universal Declaration, Honorable Speaker, can you please allow me to make reference?
Yeah, please go ahead.
In the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, Article 19, which states that everyone in a country has the right to participate in government. Honorable Speaker, so why is it that women who are ready to take part in leadership are discouraged? Why is it that women who are ready to take part in leadership are not taken seriously? And why is it that women who are ready to take part in leadership are not voted for? Honorable Speaker, in short and precise, I will say, women of today are here to conquer, and not only in the political arena, but in every aspect that deals with leadership. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. For the smooth running of procedure, those that will want to submit on this motion could kindly raise their tags for your names or constituency names to be recorded, and we could go accordingly. Honorable Member for Fonyi Brefet, your tag is not up.
No, you already gave me an appetite of today's session. This appetite in fact.
Yes, please keep it raised for a few minutes. I am not sure how fast it will be, but please remain patient.
Honorable Speaker, may I suggest to the Honorable House, why is the clerk...
On what are you standing?
Oh, unfortunately...
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, please go ahead.
Please let the Honorable Member for Combo South to sit down, on baseless grounds, please.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to rise on a point of order.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm rising on point number 10, sub 2. Previously, in the previous discussion, the Honorable Speaker, in my own opinion, acted outside your responsibility as far as the standing orders are concerned, because the Right Honorable Member for Lower Badibu rise to put it to this August body that we cannot allow the Speaker to just randomly, at any will, close down the session, call it off, or adjourn it. Because we believe that section 13, the one you quoted, is the same section under the standing orders, provides for, under subsection 2, that if you would allow me, Honorable Speaker, that a motion for the extension of the sittings of this assembly can be raised by, moved by any member. And also, at least half an hour before the closure of business. And if that is done, in mandatory terms, the business of this, the sitting shall be continued accordingly. So to avoid those errors, in my own opinion, I think I would want to call it, maybe we have a lacuna. Otherwise, we can have a compromise to make sure the Speaker does not act in excess of powers given to him according to the standing orders by cutting down on what, because if you deprive a parliamentarian from speaking before this August body, you're killing their thought. You are depriving a whole constituency from having the opportunity to be heard. Members went on consultation. They were asked to come and debate here, especially about the motion that was before the body, which has to do with the National Development Plan with regards to youths. So almost everybody, every parliamentarian here prepared very well for this. So if we will have to move forward, I would suggest that we look at these two sections. In my opinion, to some extent, we would want to say they are conflicting. But which one stands? He relied on 10, you relied on 13. So if these two has a tie, how do we proceed? Maybe we can call it a lacuna in our laws. That's our standing orders. But I believe either sides are correct. You are correct by saying that, look, you have a right under the same standing orders to adjourn or suspend. But also, coming from a constituency, we were asked to come and say something. And we have a backup of section 13, subsection 2, that when a parliamentarian moves a motion for us to extend, of course, there should be that opportunity accorded, especially that the law says that shall, which is in mandatory terms. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. You're very right in terms of the content or the language of Standing Order 13 sub 2, that a member can extend or move a motion to extend the sittings 30 minutes before closure time. However, the Honorable Member did not move any motion to extend the sittings 30 minutes before time. If he had done that and we have a seconder, then I wouldn't have any powers to actually suspend the sittings. However, that was not done. And I don't think it's a lacuna. I think the Honorable Member did not use the standing order as he was supposed to. And definitely I understand the concern that a lot of the Honorable Members here made so much preparation to speak, especially on the youth and the NDP. but we will understand we were limited by time. However, your concern is very much considered. You're welcome.
Point of observation.
Yes, Honorable.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I guess these 2 points are not that much the same. But what the Right Honorable Member for Lower Badegu raised on was 10 in the standing orders, subsection 2. That was what he
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
The Honorable Member for Fonyi Brefet is really deviating from the matter at hand. We are to discuss on this motion, not to discuss on what we have already discussed on. That has been suspended, and you have made your rulings on that particular matter. So let us proceed. When matters come back in those regards, we can talk about it. Honestly, I've told you we don't come here today to joke or to be quoting standing orders and this.
Honorable Member, I think you've raised your point.
We are on action.
Okay, honorable members, I would want to appeal to this honorable House that we forge ahead with the debate. Like I said, your concerns are definitely considered. However, this is something we cannot go back to. As a result, we'll continue with the debate and possibly find a way of avoiding limitations as we ensure that everyone has equal rights to submit on issues that are of concern to young people. Honorable members, at this juncture, may I please call Honorable Member for Lower Badegu.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yeah, on the motion on hand, I would like to contribute and send my submission. Though I was better prepared for the past motion, but notwithstanding, I will also do my contribution. You know, women in leadership, you know, people have a diverse view on this matter, and then the approaches differ. But women are leaders because they mold leaders. So if you say women in leadership, women are already leaders because they make men to be leaders, as in. But taking it at a broader perspective, that is where, you know, it comes to international standard, convention here and there, and then, which I don't subscribe to most oftenly. And I have my points, and that is, you know, sometimes we have to look at the nature of the society that we evolve in. What are the reality on the ground? And then we have to make on this. We should not be learning from model world, like the country so or the West are doing this, and then we have to adjust ourselves to that. Do that work for us? Those are the questions. If it doesn't work for us, so we don't need to subscribe to those. Signing it or not signing it, we already have ground rules, and then they are guided by principles, moral principles, you know. So these moral principles are the ones that guide us since from inception. If these moral principles are not in line with those conventions, I see no reason why we should not subscribe to this. It is said in the Holy Book that women should stay within the house. As in, I don't have much, I may not have the right profession.
Honorable Member, you might, that's a very serious statement.
Yes.
That women should stay within the house.
Yes.
Which Holy Book is it mentioned that women should stay within the house?
Okay, anyway, I may not have the right quotation for that, but then there is a limitation for women in terms of leadership when it comes to Islam. That is the exact thing that I wanted to say. Huh?
Honorable Member, this is a parliament, and whatever we say here should be based on facts that we can verify. So if you say Islam has provided that women should actually stay in the house, then you should be able to reference where this can be found.
I have withdrawn that portion and then we correct it in this way. Okay, I have withdrawn that portion and then we correct it that women are restricted in certain leadership. And then what I mean by that aspect is that, you know, certain positions, you know, when women are given the mandate to rule that, though we have some positions that they rule well, but there are certain things, if women are put in that position, it compromises a lot of things. We should not be brainwashed by the Western, or we have that mentality that, you know, we have to do equal, you know, access for women and men. and then we have our moral consent. And then that is what we are brought up in. So these are some of the things that I know I may not enjoy unanimity. Some honorable members might be frowning, but it doesn't make sense. What matters is the reality. The reality, that is what matters. We all know it. Let us not try to be pleasing donors or pleasing the West or pleasing what. You know the right thing, and I know the right thing. And most of us here are Muslim. We know it exactly. So if we make ourselves as if we are blind to the reality, and then we try to please the West, it doesn't make sense to me. Because one day all of these things will come to an end. So for me, I believe in truth talk. I speak the truth and I am set free. I see it. So whether people are happy or not happy, I still speak the truth. So coming back to that aspect of leadership, as I started, I said women are leaders. They are leaders. We cannot underestimate that. But where and how? Where and how do they lead? Where can they lead and where they cannot lead? There are certain places you cannot give those places women to lead that places. And there are certain places that they lead, like at the home. Management of the home are all the work of the women. For the home to be very successful and for the children
Point of observation, please. If the honorable member for Lower Badibu would...
sorry, honorable member, the time for the honorable member for Lower Badibu has ended, so we would continue to take the next submission. Thank you.
But there were some seconds.
Allow
me those seconds, please. I was 3 seconds.
Honorable member, your time is up. Thank you.
3 seconds, sir.
Your time is up. Thank you. So I will take the Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And I will just go back to what the Honorable Member for Serekunda was said. We are not here today to show eloquence. And in talking about policies and legal frameworks.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
The Honorable Deputy Speaker is not addressing me properly.
Okay. The Member for Serekunda.
Point of order.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Yes, this
Honorable Deputy Speaker.
This is now becoming a trend. That whenever we have to rise on a point of order, it is mentioned in the standing order that we must reference ourselves to the point of order that which we want to cite. And then Honorable Member for Serekunda has been rising on point of order without giving us any reference. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. That is quite noted. Please, Honorable Member for Serekunda, be informing us of the point of order you'll be rising on any time you want to. Thank you. Honorable Deputy Speaker, you may proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I will just proceed from where I stopped. When we're talking about policies, development, and legal framework, consistency is very important, and we should avoid speaking vaguely. I would just implore on my honorable members that when we rise to speak for or against the motion, let us speak on facts, let us speak based on evidence, and let us speak on realities and not speculations. I will say this first because this very house we're in, the institution of parliament, is not something that is within our traditions. And the institution of parliament and its values and everything was important. And today we are sitting in it, celebrating it, using it to make sure the youth agenda is put forward. The West might be promoting women leadership and in governance and all that. They might be the champions and all that, but women of Africa, women of the Gambia deserve equally to serve in governance and leadership positions, irrespective of where these values come from. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, looking at the last elections, I will just give a reference of the councillorship elections. There were many candidates that stood, but out of the whole lot, only 53 women came out to vie for these positions. And one of their major challenges was finances. And I will come back to consistency. We cannot sit in this house and agree on a motion that young people should be made priority in the National Development Plan and also make a national priority. We all agreed on it. The motion passed smoothly and successfully. We form more than 60%. When health is provided for the country, who is it provided for if we are more than 60%? If education is provided for, who is it provided for if we are more than 60%? If infrastructure is provided for, who is it provided for if we are more than 60%? We are the biggest beneficiaries, but yet still we stand here and still request that we become a national priority. We should be consistent. Then we should not stand in this house and say that because women are 51% of the population, they should not demand for quota system. They should go and vie for positions like any other. We are putting behind all the challenges women are facing, being it financial, being it economic, being it social, and being it cultural. We all
Point of observation.
Come on.
Yes, I think, Honorable Speaker, if you will allow me, the challenges that women are facing are the same challenges that men are facing. Now, when you look at it, she mentioned...
Honorable Member, you are actually submitting against the submissions of the Honorable Deputy Speaker, and you already had your 5 minutes. You might want her to please continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think it's important when we start, we make our points as clear and precise. And if we make it vaguely, the moment a person evokes it, we will try to come back, which might not be possible. But I will just continue. And you even speak to politicians and political parties. You engage them on why usually at the majority they don't have young people and women as candidates. Most of the time it's because of finances. It's because the political parties do not have the necessary finances to sponsor all their candidates. So they opt for the ones that can finance themselves and their campaigns to come into positions. Women don't have access to resources, women don't have access to finances, and we are economically challenged. And I think it will be very dishonest of us if we stand here and say women face the same challenges as men in this country. We don't. We face bigger challenges in this country. We face bigger challenges when it comes to health. We face bigger challenges when it comes to education. Even in education, we are from homes. If me and my brother are going to school and the resources are not enough to sponsor both of us, usually it is the sister that is encouraged to sit back home for the male to continue. These are realities in our homes. So we're gonna come here and say men are facing the same challenges as women. No, that's why I think it's important to provide a quota system where it will not be a gift given to women. No, women are going to compete for these positions among themselves to make sure the best among them sits to represent their concerns, sits to represent their issue. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. May I now call on Honorable Nominated Member for Persons with Disabilities.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, members of the Honorable House. Okay, so my take on this motion would be, basically I will cut it down to women with disabilities, and then at the end I also want to generalize it. Yes. So, for someone to become a leader, you need to be equipped with the necessary skills, isn't it? As much as you would want to get to a place, getting there without the necessary skills, it's pointless because you are not going to deliver, and at the end you have a conscience that will haunt you. Okay. So now, whatever we're going to talk about here, I believe if education is not talked about, it's going to be pointless. Because education is what builds you up. It is what molds you. But it is sad, as it was mentioned earlier here, and we've been hearing it over and over. The education system, sadly, does not cater for persons with disabilities. How do they expect us to acquire the necessary skills to serve in those leadership positions, even if we are put into those places? It would become difficult. Again, we live in communities. You, and any other person have seen it in your homes or in your village, communities at large, the country in general. You live with a person with disability. Even the people they live with in their same houses don't have the belief in them. And that kills their spirit. It makes them not to want to continue. And at the end, you're like, okay, I can't do it. You decide to sit in your corner. But if all these things are factored out, true advocacy is being made. People are raising awareness, but then I believe it has been done in the wrong way. Because people have been talking since yesterday, there are no changes. So we need to find better ways of making people aware that disability does not mean inability. One just has to realize, okay, this is the limitation I have for this, but that doesn't mean it's going to limit me for all other things that I could venture into. Why should the quota system be put in place? First, we need to be equipped, yes. If we are equipped, then the quota system could be put in place, and then, because, like I said, awareness is still lacking. So if the quota system is put in place and people are aware, at the end I can come and, like, okay, in the beginning, okay, let me put it this way. We can work with this quota system for a particular number of years whilst we work on trying to enlighten people and then making sure that people are equipped with the necessary skills. Because as much as it is true, women have a disadvantage to men when it comes to getting into power. But then if you have the necessary skills, required skills, for example, look at Mayor Rohey Malik Lowe. She stood against a man, but she still won because people saw the capabilities in her. So if other women are equipped with the same skills she has, they can also always overpower or overcome their male opponents. So at the end, all of this will run down to you getting the necessary skills required for you to prosper in any position you are put into. Be it in a workplace or a government institution, you need to get the required skills. And this required skills also comes down to education, because that is where you will get all those things to be equipped, to equip you to prepare for whatever you're going to venture into. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now invite Honorable Member for Fonyi Brefet.
At long last, thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. And then, that being the case, it is true. I don't want to go into the religious aspect, but in our own level, when we don't want women to be taking leadership roles, now let us also have this in our laws, that when we see women also struggling outside, leaving their homes 4 a.m., 5 a.m., just to go and hustle to bring something in the family, let us also have this in our law, that let the man be questioned for the woman leaving by that time. In as much as some men are also not that much responsible in taking care of the family, this also pushes women to also go extra mile in ensuring they provide something on the table. So when they are on those hard levels, it is also very much important we also consider them in the decision making, because sometimes when we have men in the decision making platform, probably we might say things that we might not best represent the women. So it is very much important we have them in the decision-making processes so that they will be able to talk on their behalf, so that they will be able to bring in issues that will best help them. Now, when we check within our country here, we have women that which we can always keep praising because they are exemplary leaders. Let's say, for instance, let me not be biased. Let me start with my own honorable member who is doing very well. And then just recently, he just from sponsoring our Super Cup final. And we didn't even expect her. We are just there and we saw the cash prize. So she is also doing very well. You also check on Tumanja, you also check on this guy, the then nominated member, Yakuma Jede. You also check on Fatim Baji when she was minister. You also check on other women, that not only within the Gambia, even outside the Gambia too. So it is very much important for us to start recognizing the effort of these women. And then also, sometimes when they are also put in the decision-making body, sometimes they have more impact than the male counterpart. And we are having this because they are always vulnerable when they have to challenge with men, with male. So that being the case, we're supposed to have a quota system. And then also, when we have this system also, it should also compel the political parties to also have this within their political structure. But let's say, for instance, when we have it only at the national level. Now, when the political parties are not having this within their political party structures, now it will be very much difficult for us to have female candidates who might want to vie in for position of presidency. And it might also be very much difficult for us to have female candidates that might also want to vie in for our position. But when political parties also are compelled to have this in their party laws or rules and regulations, then that will also help a lot in the representation of women. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Central Badibu?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor once again. Yes, I will start with the consultation at our district level. During the consultation, we realized that the females were left behind at our area. Like in Central Badibu, we have a female third division team that is constrained with finance. The team cannot move further simply because of finance. We are seeing like the authorities are not supporting the females at the grassroots level, and that is a challenge. And if the females are supported in the area of sport, they will be able to do well. And if they are participating in sport, and many people are seeing the inspiration from the participation, they will have the opportunity to showcase their talents. And in that, as they are moving and interacting, that will give them opportunities to be able to vie for these positions that we are talking about. And if they are not vying the positions that are available, for the authorities to support them will be very difficult. The other encouragement is like the females also should like help themselves and try to accommodate themselves and then participate in youth work. If they don't participate in youth work, it will be very difficult for authorities to see their efforts. Like the district where I come from, if you look at the district youth committee, through the youth council, we have only 2 females, which is very small. The reason is during Congress, it's only 3 females that attends the Congress. Then you see that like it's very important for them to be showing up so that they will be easily supported. If they are not surfacing out, the authorities will not be able to see them and to be able to support them. Then female participation is very important. So they have to take up the challenge and then showcase their talents. If they don't show up, it will be very difficult. Yeah, on that note, I would also like to continue with the Constitution. For the 1997 Constitution, a new Constitution is needed because a lot of consultations were made for a new Constitution, and that the youths participated so hard in the consultations. And then all those efforts, if the Constitution is not back, it will be just a waste of resource and waste of materials. Then so therefore, I would also like to suggest to the authorities to work hand in glove to make sure that the Constitution is back and then we move on with a new Constitution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I now call on Honorable Member for Oponyomi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Good afternoon, honorable members. I think I would also give my contribution on this very important and timely topic, women empowerment, or bringing a quota system so that the women can also partake in the political leadership, because of we have gone so long, we have patronage in our system where we have only male leadership, or men think that we are the only one who should lead. I think the space and the latitude need to be created for women to also partake in the leadership, because we have seen, women who have been doing well, people like Andres Ndongyat and others, they did well for this country. And I think leadership is not ownership of men. Women also can be given the latitude and the chance to also participate. But bringing the quota system is important, not only in government institutions, but also political parties to consider this, so that at least women can be given the avenue, women can be given the opportunity to at least have the space, because sometimes it's difficult to have a space to contest for this political position. There are a lot of challenges, like, for example, the resources, like the support base. And if you don't contest on the ticket of a political party, sometimes it is always difficult for you to win an election. So it is important for the government to come up with policies that would at least include women, or that are going to be more inclusive and bring about the quota system so that the women can have the avenue to partake in politics. Because if this don't happen, it is going to be very difficult. There is this mindset already. We believe in patronage. We believe in it's only men who will take position of leaders, and we are the only good leaders. And if this continues, obviously it's going to be difficult to have women participation in politics. And this can only happen if we introduce this quota system. let there be rules and regulations that will, protect the interests of women when it comes to political positions. Because if not, it's going to be very difficult. So we indulge the authorities to come up with policies, not only authorities, but also political parties to see that women are given space to contest for these political positions. Because it is relevant. Because of it should not be only men's show. Women also can do it if a space is created for them. Sometimes we jump and quote about, what religion said. Fine. Are we doing, as men, are we doing what Islam, requests us to do? You're not doing it 100%. So as a result, it is important to give avenue to these women. Let them also, participate, showcase their talent, what they can do. Because I believe when we talk about 50-50, it's not about, what a man do, a woman. No, it's about giving an equal opportunity, equal avenue for both men and women to showcase their talents, to come up with their ideas. And I believe collectively we can change the narratives. And the narrative in this country cannot be just changed based on rhetorics, but it can be changed based on pragmatism, based on giving opportunity to every soul that has the willingness, but not to keep position for men only. No, women should be given the chance. And I believe this can only happen if we introduce the quota system. If not, it's not going to work, because positions are kept for men. Look at the political party, for example, in terms of election, around 15 to 20% are going to be contested. 18 of the candidates are going to be men. Maybe 2 of them are going to be women. And there's a possibility that those 2 women might find it very difficult to win because of the mindset of the people. That, women cannot rule. Women cannot take position of leadership. We have seen that narrative changing in the Western world. I'm not saying whatever the Western world passes to us, we should take it. But there are certain things that are of our interest. We should consider them and take them. And they are going to develop our country. And all these developing countries and developed countries, there are policies that I'm not saying whatever they introduce, we take it. No. But there are certain positive things. When they are introduced, let us try to embrace them. And they are for good, and they are to develop our country, or they are to develop us as a society. Because we have some pragmatic young women who can hold political position than men. But we have seen it. We have seen very pragmatic women leaders who can change the narrative. But still, we don't want to have them because we feel that those positions are for men. So women empowerment should not only be based on rhetorics. It should be based on practice. It should be based on actions. We should mean our words. Not that we want to empower women while we don't want to give them leadership position. We don't want to support them in their leadership. It's going to be very difficult for women to change the narrative if they are not supported and the avenue is not given to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I now call on Honorable Member for Banjul South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, jigéen ay suñu yaay. Honorable Speaker, the past local government election, looking at Banjul as a whole region, with 9 wards, only 4 women contested for the local government election, which is the councillorship. And out of those 4 women, only 1 won, which is not satisfying, and I am really not happy with that. Honorable Speaker, if we want to see more women in leadership position, I believe that there is a need to emphasize more on giving women a friendly environment. Honorable Speaker, we have to give women friendly environment so that they can claim leadership position. I would like to give example. The past chairman or chairperson election, regional chairperson, for the first time in the history of Banjul, we have the first female chairperson, who is Aissatou Diallo. And we are really proud as young people of Banjul supporting our fellow young women, even though it was very difficult, but we are so proud of her that she didn't give up, even though there were a lot of challenges and men were fighting her, but she stood up and showed us that she can do it, and we are really proud of her. Honorable Speaker, women should support their fellow women. If we have more women like Honorable Tumanjai and our able Lord Mayoress of Banjul, she is doing a very brilliant job. For the first time in the history of Banjul, I guess we all know that she recently launched the Youth Volunteerism Project, which will be whereby 500 young people of Banjul will be sent out of the country to go and learn new skills. Honorable Speaker, I would like to encourage my fellow honorable members to support women. If we have more women like our able chairperson Aissatou Diallo, Honorable Tumanjai, and our able Lord Mayoress Ajaratou Rohey Malick Lowe, then I believe that the future of women will be brighter. What a man can do, a woman can do better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable. May I now invite Honorable Member for Sandu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Though majority of us, have more points on the face, motion as the NDP. But with regards to this motion, I think we need to, get back to the grassroots and do more of sensitization and counseling based on the empowerment of women and in the leadership. Looking at my constituency, Sandu, we want the women to be leaders. And if we want them to be leaders, that it means my constituency will be vulnerable. In a sense that, we have only one senior secondary school. And this is the only one that you want us to empower these women. And most of them are very far from this, school. And they tend to, leave all the way from there and seek, schooling to the Bassi area, which become a problem for them in the side of, accommodation. So in empowering them or, to let them be in this leadership position, I think, these are some of the things that we need to do. We need to support them in their schooling career. I can recall 2 weeks ago, I have a session with the regional youth chairman at Basse, at the Taxi FM, in which we talk about this. Women that are going to school or females that are going to school are not empowered. And most especially if you check, is on the side of, the parents. Basically, we talk about the teenage pregnancy and likewise, the early marriage, which also affect them. Because if that is done, then it means that at long run we will not have them in those places that we want them to be. So I want us to check on those ones and see possible means in order for us to see them in those positions. If this is not done, then it means in most of the constituencies we will not have female leaders. And leadership, it doesn't mean all of them should be in public offices or being in office. There are many other things that they can able to do in order for them to be leaders in those areas, especially these vocational trainings that are happening. But if you look at even that one in my constituency, we don't have any. In my constituency, we don't have any of those there in order for us to elevate these women there. And it also becomes a concern to my constituency that women who are ventured in this garden transportation become a very, very key problem to them. And in doing this, it is all part of empowering them. If this is not done, then it means we'll be lagging behind. Like so other members mentioned about empowering them. I think honorable member for Bakau, which is a very key area that we need to do to support them, because they serve as role model in our compound or in our society. They said, involve them in decision makings so that at least they can also have a say and, hear from their consent. Because if this is not done, it means that there are bias, in enacting our laws or, bylaws. So I think it's very important that, we empower them to hold these, positions too. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now invite Honorable Member for Combo East.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think if you look at the composition of a society, it starts at the family level. And then one cannot imagine a family without a woman. And it is on those bases that we should see women as partners in national development. And that should not be only at the grassroots level, not at the labor side, but at the decision-making table. Women should form a section of that. Now, this motion of quota system ought not to have been a debate if we are consistent in our arguments here since in the morning. Instead, it should be a right that women has deservedly earned. The reason I said that is because in the face of all the challenges that women face, women are not people that give up. The success of this program, this sitting, doesn't happen in the absence of women. The NYP Secretariat is, the greater population is formed by women. So this is something that we need to put into consideration. The quota system only seeks to open doors for women to be at the decision-making table, because women are the most affected in our societies. They are so challenged from economic, from social, traditional practices, and all that. So this makes it so difficult for them. It's not about equality, it's about equity, and not having this quota system and saying that both women and men has the opportunity to get into public office is as much as raising with a child, not in a disrespectful way, but considering all the challenges that women face. This is it. These are the challenges, and these challenges obviously has the man, in how to call it, on the advantage side. So this is the thing. So moving forward, these are things that we need to see. It's unfortunate with the failed draft constitution, but then we still need to continue pushing, because in order for us to develop as a nation, just like we have been saying in the morning, prioritizing the youth also has to go in line with prioritizing women, especially in positions of leadership. So I need not to mention the successes of women that we have had recently. Other honorable members have already dilated on that. For me, I'm a firm believer that somebody that excels in all those, despite all these challenges, if the person is taken at the forefront, I see no reason why the person would not deliver as expected. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Joshua?
Point of order, please, before she come in.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Yes, sorry, Honorable Member for Joshua. I'm not pointing order at you, but rather to the August Assembly. I want to suggest you confirm from the clerk if we are having many on the queue, that should also deliberate on the point.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member, go ahead.
The Honorable Member of Fonyi Briefet pointed out earlier on that whenever you stand, you must establish the clause in which you stand on. And it seems like these honorable members do not hold on to their words there.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Yes, thank you. I was just laying a foundation to that because I'm moving to section
on what point 13, of order are you standing?
Section 13, subsection 2. That is, a motion for the extension of a sitting of the House may be moved by a member at least no later than
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry. So, If I may start, Section 13, subsection 2, a motion for the extension of sitting of the House may be moved by a member at least no later than half an hour before the time fixed for the adjournment, and if carried, the sitting shall continue accordingly. So, according to our standing orders, we should close by 5, and then looking at the time, we have 5 minutes for the half an hour mentioned in the standing order. So I want to suggest if we have many in the list, we sit beyond 5. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. That's a good point to note. Therefore, Honourable Members, I might call upon any Honourable Member to move the motion for the extension of the time towards the exhaustion of the names that we have on the list, and if seconded, we would therefore pay heed. Yes, Honourable Member. Sorry, would you mind? I cannot see your. Yes, Honourable Member for Basse.
Yes, Honourable Speaker, I move the motion for the extension of time.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Any seconder? Yes, Honourable Member for Serekunda.
Honourable Speaker, I'm sorry, I don't know in which ground would I be standing on. I suggest this time not to be extended. This is not a, how to call it, a motion that we should be debating on. We are agreeing on the quota system, Honourable Members. We are agreeing. So we don't need to debate further.
Honourable Member, whilst I appreciate that deliberation, we have not determined the agreement on this until we hear from the rest of the members that are on the list. So I would, your objection is definitely considered. However, I would go ahead to listen to any seconder for the motion. Yes, Honourable Member for Oponyumi.
Yeah. Seconded.
Please go ahead. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me please bring a notice to this Honourable House that this extension applies exactly to the list that we have here in terms of those that would deliver. It wouldn't mean we'll be here till midnight, right? Thank you so much, Honourable. So I'll just move on to the next Honourable Member. Honourable Member for Juswan, please proceed.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Well, I think the reason why there are lesser women participating in leadership and governance in the Gambia is because of the socially built barriers and the mindset people have towards women that they belong in the kitchens, that they have to take care of the households, take care of the children, and that they should not lead men. And these mindsets have to change because women are capable, despite the fact that we are the most vulnerable sect in the society, does not mean that we are not capable as men. We are even more capable than some men. And we have seen a lot of positions that a man has been in control of for a long period of time, and a woman that came in for a short period of time makes huge positive difference compared to that of the man. Women of this country are so equipped and capable. Providing this quota system will only ease and enhance women's participation in leadership and governance. This is not something that we have to debate about. Gender equity is something that has to happen. We have to promote gender equity. This quota system should be provided, and that will enhance women participation in leadership and governance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member. Honourable Member for Brikama North.
Thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. I just want to say a little about the importance of women in our societies, given the fact that everybody has been groomed and been brought up by a woman to begin with. Nobody has just fallen from the skies. You came through a woman, and the person brought you up in the best ways that they can. Because if not, we wouldn't have been here, most of us, at least. But sometimes I am confused by the feminists they confused you. They will tell you 50-50, and the next minute they will tell you, we need this person to be kept for the women. That confuses me a lot. If the two sides of the coin are equal, why would you need to keep a portion for the other side? Because if you do that, you must also contemporaneously remember that you are being unjust to the other side of the system. To bring this home, what I'm saying is, if women and men are equal, which is right, you can argue, they're equal. We are all human beings. At the end of the day, some would say women can do more, some would say men can do more. That means we are equal. But why would we now need to have 15%, for example, for the women, to be kept for the women, and not do the same for the men? That's quite injustice. I'm not sure that is supposed to happen. So, I'm so happy that Honorable Ancha has to mention that point. Few things are of quality here. The person's education, the person's capabilities. Just like Honorable Wood mentioned, would refer to Honorable Aissatou of Banjul, because she has the essence, she has that thing in her, she was able to defeat men in competition. So I believe all the women that are capable, that have proven beyond reasonable doubts to the people that I can do this, they are going to do them they are going to vote for them. You do not need any quota system. Prove yourself, and you be there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Serekunda West?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We said women are the embodiment of peace. So therefore, we should be given the right, we should be given the encouragement to face the people. I will take an example, like, how do you expect a woman that is suffocating at home, like the motivation lacks at home? This is where the problems start. Because the people that we are living with are not supporting women. If you have a man that has the mindset that women should always be at home, women should always be at the kitchen, therefore, how do you think that woman will have the capability or the zeal to stand in public to take up leadership positions? So therefore, we normally say, like every successful man, there is a woman. But I can say every emotional stress of a woman, there are some men that are involved. So therefore, as a youth parliamentarian, we should try and advocate for women, especially the people that we're living with. Let us advocate our parents. Let them equipment start at home. That's where we can start. Like if you're not helped at home, if you're not nurtured to be strong enough to face the public, if you go out, you will not be able to do anything. And we're the one training the young ones, and whatever that we feel is right, that's what we train our young ones. That's why women should be well equipped. So at the same time, as a parliamentarian, we should help women to know their SWOT analysis. What are their weaknesses? What are their strengths? What are their opportunities and threats? If they know this thing, women can take up leadership position. It's not about only leadership position, even at home. When decision making is coming, like if a man wants to be successful, any business that you are about to do, if you include a woman, it will be successful. But the problem is that we decide things on our own without putting women in picture. So especially when it comes to like decision making, when it comes to housing, like inheritance, you will see to it the women are considered even less. And we are pushed to accept that it is culture. The women should have less, women should be controlled. That means even men that are saying that women should be empowered are just saying it by word, but they are doing it at home. And this is exactly what we need to stand. We need the support of men to go out because we are married to them. You understand? So if your husband or your family member is not giving you the chance to showcase your talent, you will still be dormant. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I now call on Honorable Member for Lower Fuladu West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor to discuss on this a very relevant subject of discussion. My own contribution to the topic is that it's quite close to what Honorable Member for Brikama North, Honorable Ghazali mentioned. It's quite easy to say the gender measurement is 50-50, but looking at it as women are advocating for leadership positions, you also need to know that you have responsibility to partake in order to get into certain positions that you want to undergo. Now, for instance, Mr. Speaker, permit me to ask a question to our female honorable members here. It's going to be quite a polite one.
I'm sorry, this is not a question and answer session. You might just want to proceed.
Okay.
Thank you.
If I'm to continue, it's like I'm going to make it in a rhetorical form. How many of we, or how many of you as female reps in this National Assembly, plan to be future presidents of this noble country in the future? How many of we are planning towards, empowering women in those positions when it comes to the near future? Most of the time, when you ask ladies, what do you want to be in future, you have only few of them that aspire for the position of presidency. And later on, they put it that it's probably a stereotype of the community, whilst in reality, that stereotype is in them, whether being educated or non-educated. For instance, it is quite obvious we have seen women who are doing really well in leadership positions within the country. And I think that should only be a motivation for young females to take up responsibilities beyond the responsibility that those ones currently are taking on. For instance, I've seen representatives in the National Assembly, I've seen mayors that are females, I've seen ministers that are females, but who are there that are ready to partake in undergoing the role of presidency in the country? It's one thing to say we need empowerment, but it is another thing to stand up and pave way for other women to follow. If, for instance, we have a female rep here who is ready to take in the role of a president in the future, she should be ready. She should know that she needs quality education. She should know that she needs, that manic, how will I say, that manic attitude. You have to be quite aggressive. You have to be that person that you look at, you say, oh yes, this is that woman that can take a nation further. You cannot be sitting and say, okay, we need this position and just be given. You need an example. You need someone to set that stepping stone for other female, to partake in those roles and, convince the other gender that to the fact that we all can do the same. But if we are sitting on our desks, folding our hands that, okay, we need to be supported, we need a quota system, we need this in order to be able to empower ourselves, I don't think it's going to help. Looking at the point of the quota system, it's a good idea. You look at it in one way. But I don't think there's any restriction for any female to partake in presidential elections in the country. But how many times have we seen...
Point of observation, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
The matter at hand is about quota system. And
Honorable Member, if you accept the observation, you might want to have a seat. Thank you.
Who want
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. I think you've made your clarification, so we will not want you to make a new submission. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable
you have
Speaker.
45 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. But I would like to also put the House to notice that the House of Presidency is also a leadership position. So I will want everyone in the House to take a note of that. What I'm saying is, it's going to be quite important for at least a female to take that stepping stone, which will encourage other female members to, go through the same route. But it cannot go whilst it did not start from somewhere. It must start from somewhere for there to be an improvement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Old Yundum?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I will start by saying kudos to all the men that stood up and agreed on this motion in the House, that providing a quota system for women in the participation of women in leadership and governance. Kudos. But to address or enhance women's participation in leadership and governance, we need to look at the grassroots level. Honorable Speaker, you would agree with me that as small as a classroom setting, the classroom prefects are always men. Sorry, boys. I would say boys because it's at that small. It's a norm that boys are always the class prefect and women would be their assistants, not the other way around. This has become a norm that we follow. It's a trend that we follow, not the other way around. And even the state level, when you walk up to government institutions or government departments, most of their directors, most of these people that man the higher positions are men. The National Assembly, for example, out of 58 members of the National Assembly, we only have 5 female representatives of the National Assembly. And before going further, I would commend the National Youth Parliament for having a lot of women leaders as National Youth Parliament. This is one of which we have more women, and we want to see this coming up in other institutions like this. We have also seen that women that are doing they're doing exceptionally well. That we've seen, like you've mentioned, the other honorable members have mentioned, like Honorable Tumanjai, Honorable, oh my God, let me do this. Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of the Gambia, Mrs. Fatoumata Baro, did exceptionally well in the launching of the the African Women Leaders chapter, the AULEAN, that was launched recently. She did exceptionally well in empowering women in leadership and governance. But this, like I said, has to start from the grassroots level, wherein we as young women see that even in the classroom, it's not always a man that should be the prefect. We should also become prefects rather than just assistant rather. Even in the presidential candidates, most of it is just men. And then we see that women should become the vice president. We see ourselves to be just vice president, not presidents themselves. I mean, I think we should look at that. And also, another key issue is whenever women try for these leadership positions, we see people that would come out and then against it on religion base. That is just an excuse. I mean, we don't have facts when it comes to religion, a religious fact that would say that women are restricted to become leaders of the society or communities. Thank you, Honorable
Point of observation.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
If Honorable can allow me to...
Yes, yes, Honorable.
Exactly. In reference to Surah An-Nisa, verse 4, chapter 33, which says that Ar-Rijalu Kawamula An-Nisha, is a clear indication that shows that men are leading, or men are the leaders.
Honorable member, you might want to.
So it's just a submission.
You might want to translate that verse because, as you may know, the official language of our hearing is English language and local language. Yes.
I've already booked that verse so long as I know this is a very important discussion. As I said, Surah An-Nisa, that is chapter 4 of the Holy Quran, and verse 33, which says that Ar-Rijalu Qawwamuna 'ala Nisa, which reads in English says, men are in charge of women by right. What Allah has given one over the other. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I will now call on Honorable Member for Jara Central.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. This quotator system is very important as women.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member, we know your concern. Please, Honorable Member, it's quota system. Thank you.
Yes, quota system. Musol ka katale, alhamdulillah. Ni nara jibe Jara Central la musol ni eje. Ye kata kuo la le puru ka ajitandi ko. Nyaton kaya, enin keol. Amanke iselano nyole be ke kilinti. Bari gender equity min nati ko. It's not 50-50, but keol ka minke 99% ni nata jibe Gambia dulato musol be jirim bakele na nata empowerment of women. So, Honorable Speaker, I will embark on this. During my consultation, Jara Central constituency, one of my consultation was it based on this women's empowerment. And that what that woman told me, he said, we the women, we are suffering, especially these rural areas. One is gardening. When you come to my constituency, we have 25 villages in Jara Central, but we have only one garden. And then that woman, they just go for accommodation. Their women help their children's feedings, all about that garden. They feed their children, feed their families on that. And then what I'm going to say is the women, we are lack of motivation.
Point of observation, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I just want to plead with the Honorable of Jara Central to use the local language. We want to enjoin that. We would really prefer it, to be honest.
Honorable Member, please, we are not here to enjoy. Secondly, she has every right to use any any language that she wants to use, so long as it falls on the languages that are considered as the official languages for usage in the chambers. Honorable Jara Central, you may speak in either English or local language. Feel free to.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yeah, and then secondly, we the women, even in the chambers here, we can see a lot of women. We are more than the men here. We can see the surrounding. The maximum is the women, and then all the men go home. That doesn't tell well. And then what it shows is the women are so that themselves that they want to be participating in this youth involvement. And then even that, when we see Gina Bass is the example. Yes, he normally do sport and then another activities in terms of voluntary works in the area of sport. But it doubts me when people say that the young women should not participate more in presidential elections, or to be a president, to be a vice president, or to be a teachers. We cannot be in a housewomen's or housemen's. We cannot do it. But please, my appeal to Honorable Speaker, let's empower women when it comes to policy making, and then we motivate them. Let them also involve themselves in policy making, and then having positions in terms of politics, entrepreneurship, and then gardening and agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member for Jara Central. May I now invite Honorable Member for Jokado.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor again. Looking at all the things we have been saying here, it is all based on the ideologies we have towards women, the ideologies society have towards women. When you look at education, you are saying that we should be equipped, we should be educated, we should have the skills so that we can be put into those positions. When you look at the societal level, are we giving the chance? No, not everyone, every woman or every young girl or young lady is given that chance. Looking at some areas in the Gambia where you have inaccessibility to education. When it comes to the girl child to move into the tertiary or senior secondary school where she can access education, the parent will prefer stopping that girl from going or removing her out of the school, because she might think that he or she might think that when the child goes there, might be idling or will not have proper care from the guardian. So these are things that are hindering the women from accessing these skills you are mentioning that we should have in order to be put into these positions. Looking at the political level also, thank God that we have now women leaders in politics who are involved in politics. But before, they were only involved in this mobilization. They will mobilize women, their fellow women and young women. These young women and they will come and vote in those people in position. And at the end of the day, those people will be in those positions and will forget about these women. So therefore, we need to be empowered. The empowerment needs to start at the societal level. We need to change our ideologies towards women that they cannot do. They are only good in the kitchen. That's a big mistake. If we are empowered, we are very good. We have very talented women. We have very good women who can stand for this in this position and make so many positive impacts. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member for Jokado. May I now invite Honorable Member for Ileasa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. If you look at my constituency, Ileasa, we have 4 different wards there. And during my consultation meeting, I went to the 3 different wards. Among these wards, there is one ward during the consultation meeting. A woman told me this. In this community, any position that the men handle, we the women, we can handle it and we can do more than them. But there are barriers that are stopping us from handling those positions. See, proceed. Those barriers, number 1, is the support that they lack from their husbands in their various houses. Men are not giving them support at any moment, because in leadership, it is going. You must be called at any time to go and represent or to go and answer. If that happens, those men start stopping them. Your frequent going out is too much. You have to take care of my kids. You have to prepare them to go to school. You have to prepare food for them. So those are the barriers that are stopping women in those areas from handling the positions. While on the same consultation, I moved to another ward. A woman told me this. Alafo keweleko ye kili abula ye musol bule ye fundi. It's from the mouth of a woman who told me this seriously. He said, in this ward, we're supposed to have a female that is representing us in our lawmaking process, like these local sefus, Kiti Kuntudula. Musolko, they should have a representative in that Kiti Kuntudula. So let men stop jealousy. Let them allow them to be going and coming. So the bottom line in this, let men come out and tell us that what they can do, we can do it. That's what we want to hear from the men.
Honorable point of order.
Okay, carry on.
Thank you very much for that deliberation. Of course, sometimes I see myself, even though I'm doing good in my own house, you tend to not to see that impact. My Mariama Sibo, I empower her very well.
Sorry, honorable member, please resume. Honorable member, thank you so much, honorable member. Honorable member, you have Elias, please proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Manjang, I know that very well. You empower Sibu, yes. Okay. In that area, women are ready to handle any position that is given to them, to be frank. It's from their mouth. When we get to discussion, when we get to this point of discussion, they are the very one who talk to me, not from other person or from any other. It's from their mouth. They say they are ready to handle any position that is given to them. But the support is not from their husbands. The support is not from their husbands. So therefore, let men come out and give us a maximum support, please. I stop here for the meantime.
Thank you so much, honorable member. For those men that are here and are married and are speaking against women empowerment, please, when you go home, we are not there, just to tell you. So we'll move straight to call on honorable member for Como South.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Of course, we are all in this together. I still affirm my stand on the provision of chapter 4, verse 33, which I've already mentioned earlier. And equally, I just want to take this opportunity to connect dots in terms of the progress that has already been made, and again, more effort needs to be done. If you looked around, you realize that in those days, girl child has been limited to go through conventional school system. As a result, most of them found themselves disadvantaged to competently come out and vie for some of these representative seats. So, but over the years, we have seen that has improved. If you go to schools now, you realize that basically, even looking at the observation, you see to read that girl childs are coming, even performance-wise as well. So I think things with time, naturally, things will definitely change for the fact that results is coming out. So from education now, it seems to be we are not very bothered, and even though we have some exceptional, but whatever the case may be, we can see there are good enrollment in terms of female child. So that's a very good empowerment, to empower them with educational skills, the right tools to express themselves, to put it to men that, yes, we can also do it. So I think still now, I have this liberal mind that prove yourselves. Prove yourself for the fact that most of you have just a very good submission about successful leaders who were doing very good in their spheres. So honorable members, let's prove ourselves. Even some of us here are nominated members from a whole region. But sometimes you realize that if you come to Combo for educational facility, accessing educational facility, so the people that you are representing back home, you find it difficult to connect with them. So sometimes it has to start with our own self. Let's try to bridge that gap. Saying like, Mbalukoma bi Mbalukoma sama. You have to try and remove that mentality. Prove to them that even during parliamentary sittings like this, you don't see how I deliver on issues. So some of these things will definitely convince them, have intergenerational dialogue over these things. You prove to them that, yes, you gave us that opportunity to go to an institution to improve ourselves. So it's time for you to give us that chance for us to improve those kinds. But you see, Tori, that when some of us have this opportunity to move from that rural environment or whatever, then you find it difficult to reconnect yourself again. Maybe sometimes if you even come to Combo, you entirely based on...
Honorable Member, thank you so much. Your time is up.
Oh, Honorable.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Honorable Member for Basse.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. It's long overdue, Honorable Speaker, for me to speak here. Since the first motion, I was trying to speak, to deliver some messages that come from my constituency consultation. Honorable Speaker, is very important. One thing that have emanated from my constituency consultations have reflected here. One thing they have recommended that there is many misconceptions around women leadership. They said that they need a lot of sensitization and also intergenerational dialogue for people to understand the role of women in our society, because many young men did not know that, so they are suffering. And also on this quota system, honorable members of this House, I think we need to understand about the women leadership. This quota system is not a threat. This quota system is here to provide solution to the problems of our sisters, of our mothers, and our society. So it's not seen as a threat. As popular saying goes, we are all saying it, right? We are all saying it. But when it comes to the real fact, we are not in this woman. We are not doing it. Past election, how many women contested here in this country? Do we give them chance to lead? The Lord Mayoress of Banjul here suffered a lot. She suffered. But people trusted her, and they know that she can deliver. She won. So there are a lot of women there, even in our rural Gambia, who can do it better. But we do not give them chance. Whenever the time comes, we tell them that, Ansona Tambi. So this quota system. Thank you. You are taking more time there.
Honorable Member, please go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So please, let's try to empower these women. We have ratified a lot of laws in this, from ECOWAS to AU to UN level, about women empowerment. It's high time. We don't camouflage the situation, but we do it with reality. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, I thank the House.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Nominated Member for Basse, for URR, sorry.
It is said that anything for the youths without the youths is not for the youths. But I say, anything for the youths without the female youths is not for the youths. Because when we have 100% of youths, 65% of them are women. I'm so surprised and disappointed in some of the honorable members here. Any honorable member that stood here in the morning and defend that the government should prioritize youth means that you automatically accepted that this quota system should be amended in the constitution of the Gambia. We have to be consistent in what we say or what we do in this parliament.
On what order are you standing on?
17 as usual.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
17. Standing under 17.
Standing under 17. Please read it.
Anyway, it's just a deviation a little bit. That's what the order talks about. The member is in track but deviating to as well.
Honorable Member, thank you for raising that point of order.
Honorable Speaker.
Please resume your seat. Honorable Member for Serekunda.
You have to resume your seat when a point of observation is raised against you.
Mine is not concluded.
You have to be on your own, you have to be on your chair.
You go down.
Please address the speaker. Honorable Member
Honorable Fonyi Jaro, sit down.
Honorable Member for Serekunda and Fonyi Jaro, please resume your seat. Let me make my
verdict.
verdict.
Let him sit first. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Serekunda, I do not believe she is deviating. She is laying a foundation for her submission and linking it to the advocacy on the empowerment and prioritization of the youth. Honorable Member for Fonyi Jaro, what's your point of order?
Observing the right honorable member for Serekunda, his actions constitute nuisance in this National Assembly, and we want him to comport himself and just allow the whole assembly to proceed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Jaro. What's your point of order, Honorable Member for Serekunda?
The Honorable Member for Fonyi Jaro is really deviating. I am not causing nuisance. The Honorable Member, allow me, Honorable Speaker, please, I will withdraw anything that you say.
Thank you so much. I think, resume your seat. Honorable Member for Serekunda and all the honorable members here, please, when we rise on a point of order, let's specify what we are exactly rising on. We don't have to bring in any introduction or so. Let's just go straight to the point because, like you all know, everyone here has a particular time that they're supposed to use to submit. Honorable Member for, nominated member for URR, you might please proceed. Please note that you have 1 minute left.
Okay. If I may ask, how many men in this parliament are discriminated from taking leadership position because of their marital status? And we know that most of the women in the society, whenever they want to stand up to take positions in the society, they discriminate them because of their marital status. This was one of the things that was said during my consultation. The second one is, why should men question our capacity as women? If any man believes that you can do what women are doing, stay at home and allow your wife to go to work, take care of the children, do the washing, do the laundry, then you will know that women are capable. The third one is, women are not allowed to do the work of their choice in my community. Which man here will listen to your wife when she told you that, stay at home, I don't want you to be doing this job? So why are you stopping us from doing what we want to do? You are saying that we should equip ourselves with knowledge, but you are not there to support us. No man will be here without the support of a woman. Anything that a man be today is because of a woman. We are supporting you and you need to give us equal support. During my consultation also, it was said that most of them are marginalized in the society. Most men believe that they are the ones that should take leadership position. But without even noticing it, women are already leading them. Women are leading you in many ways in the society you don't know. But I don't know how to say it. Let me just leave that one for now. But I would like to give some recommendations. That is that women need capacity buildings in leadership. They need capacity building so that they can stand for themselves. Even though the men don't want to help us, we the women here, we know that we are powerful, we are strong. When we support each other, then we will not even be sitting here to talk about that men don't support us. Let's support ourselves. If it is said that this lady has stand for presidential election, let all the women vote for her and you see which man will be a president in this country. None. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I now call on Honorable Member for Serekunda. Sorry, Honorable Member, we'll come back to you. We'll allow the technical team to assist with the mic. I will now move on to call on Honorable Member for Latrikunda Savage.
Honorable Speaker, it is disheartening for me that I had to stand before this August Parliament to rectify myself on certain terms that we use when we talk about women in leadership. Because in my perspective as a representative of my constituency, it is not only discriminatory, but also demoralizing the position and the ability and capabilities of women in leadership. Terms like support women, terms like empower women, terms like let's give them space. We are all born equal in the eye of the law. And when there are opportunities for young people to exhibit their skills and talents in leadership, it should be equally distributed between the men and the women. It is not, in fact, a supportive agenda for us to keep saying, let's support them, let's give them space. Because it is a fundamental human right for all of us to be able to participate in leadership equally, so long the competency is there on a playing field of equal competition. I wouldn't go far to cite examples of where this happened, and it is actually yielding a lot of dividend. And we are seeing a lot of progress. This very institution, the National Youth Parliament of the Gambia, has a 47% of women representation, and we do not lack in progress. So people saying that women in leadership would promote inefficiency need to go back to their drawing board and make extensive research. One of the most powerful regional blocs in Africa, the ECOWAS community, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, was one time chaired by a woman who goes by the name Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And we've seen the number of peace she has broken within the sub-region and beyond. And she was a woman. The Deputy Speaker of the National Youth Parliament is a woman. And these are just examples that are very close to home. We need to be fair to ourselves and to the people that we represent. Because we stood here in the morning and we said government must prioritize the young people in the National Development Plan. Are we now saying that young women are not part of the youth category? That is being hypocritical for me if I am to go in to say that. So it is going to be a false generosity on my side to stand in the morning and say young people need to be prioritized in the National Development Plan, only to come back and say women are to be limited when it comes to leadership. Believe me when I say they are more resilient, more understanding, more compassionate, and they are more empathetic compared to their main folks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member for Latrikunda Savage. Honorable Member for Serekunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. As the mover of the early morning motion.
Honorable Member, please remain within the corridors of this motion. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, it seems like you want to send me out. Out, no problem. Regarding the motion at hand, it is very, very important that we all understand that this was what we agreed on in the morning, that youths must be prioritized, like the other honorable members have said. And if youth should be prioritized, simply means women that are also forming the majority. As I said earlier, they are the ones forming the majority right now, especially the youth women forming the majority in the country. Then this quota system must be given an opportunity in the 1997 Constitution. I strongly agree on that, and I know each and every individual that is here would agree that women should be given that opportunity. To also move on, like I said earlier, for me it's not just to give them like that, like a cake. We have to be action-oriented, especially us as youth leaders that are rising up from our different constituencies. This is an opportunity, and the National Youth Parliament, to be honest, are doing something in the country that we have not seen over the years, and this is something that we must recognize. And we that are beneficiaries of this luxury and opportunity must also take the opportunity and make good use of it. Let us not just be called honorable members and we start smiling. Let us be action-oriented. Let us make sure that we are able to get back to our constituencies and impact the lives of our people. Do not wait for funds. You see, many a times we depend on the perspective that we cannot get funds to implement certain stuffs. That's why we are not also proactive in our constituencies. Honorable members, I am telling you that certain stuffs and for national development to be achieved in our generation, we should not wait for people to do for us or to help us do certain stuff. We must get there and we make sure that the $100 that we have, we are able to impact in the lives of the people. We all understand that today this sitting would not have been possible if we were just depending on donors. We all know that. If we were just depending on donors, this sitting would not happen. People also have tried, and in the aspect that I'm speaking on is, if we are just basically depending on donors, because we know that many donors have withdrawn in helping the National Youth Parliament to have this sitting today. So what I'm saying is, we as youths, and especially the women that are here, if you are saying that we should support you, please, make sure that you are able to do something that is action-oriented, not just word. I will not vote for any woman that is just coming and telling me that I am a woman, you should vote for me. If this is brought to Parliament so that we can adopt it and make sure we are able to amend the 1997 Constitution, it should be action-oriented based, not just you coming here, standing and tell us that we should give you the opportunity. Then we men too as well, that have one time run for elections or that are running for elections, sometimes we are also marginalized. We do understand that. But these should be based on actions. That's what we are saying. It is important that we deal more on actions than talking. And today, if we stand here, you will recognize that there are many women. Look at behind. You could see even in the audience, faces are recognized that women are really doing great. They have the capability. They have the opportunity. Let us make good use of it, and we do it. Honorable members, it is very, very important that we recognize this and we all adopt it. And I'm telling each and every honorable member, do not debate against this motion. If you do, it will be something that is contrary to what we have agreed on in the morning. Very, very true, looking at the ratio of women in the youth range. So let us adopt. And I know thank you, as I said it, every individual would agree on this motion. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. As we have exhausted the submissions from the various honorable members at this juncture, sorry, I almost missed that. Please, Honorable Nominated Member for Persons with Disabilities.
Honorable Speaker, my tag was up.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Even though earlier on I didn't raise my tag to speak out, but I believe this point is very, very important to make some clarities on. I believe for me, quota system without, inclusion doesn't make sense. So for me, I believe the advocacy tool should be inclusive quota system. Because if you look at, our political leadership in the Gambia, to be honest, it is very discriminatory. It is very self-centered. It is very centralized, meaning young people with disabilities that are women are not taking part in political leadership. Not because they don't have the intellectual ability, But first, they are not economically strong. Second, there's a lot of discrimination against them. Thirdly, people do not believe that they can able to take part in decision-making processes. So for me, in order for the quota system to make sense, it should be inclusive. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member. I now have the honor to invite the mover of the motion to wind up the debate and respond to concerns raised. Honourable nominated member.
Thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. I would say the contributions were great, and honourable members have shown that the interests of women are at their heart. In as much as that is shown, we also have other honourable members that think the other way around. In my final summation or conclusion, I would just put it to this August Assembly that looking at the National Youth Parliament itself, it provides quota system for women. How does the NYP provide quota system for women? You have women representatives of all regions. You have 7 female representatives. This is to show that if you do not believe in the quota system, if you're against the quota system, you're against the values of this particular parliament that you are part of. Moving forward, looking at the Secretariat being there for the National Youth Parliament also has quite a number of women that are working very hard towards the advancement of this parliament. So if you're not supporting the quota system, if you're not supporting women in leadership and governance, you're also against that particular group or set of people that worked so hard so you would actually have these sit-ins. This is to show the importance of women in leadership and governance. However, Honourable Speaker, I've had several deliberations on the importance of women, on how they contribute to the socio-economic development of this country, also bringing up conventions, talking about ratifications, talking about the amendments of certain legal instruments that we have in this country. Finally, to just put it all in a nutshell, is to say women should have a portion, they should have a share in the NDP, they should have a share in every aspect of life in the country to be able to contribute to the socio-economic development of this country. And then we believe if they have the capacity building trainings, if they're well equipped, if they have the skills, they will be able to utilize it to enhance the cause of actually being able to influence decision-making processes that involves their own lives. And this has to start from grassroots level, from family coming down to communities and societies, then to the national level. So I want to say a very big thank you to the parliamentarians for your contributions on this matter, and to say, please let's empower women for a better country, because they immensely contribute towards the socio-economic development of this country. Thank you all for your deliberations.
Thank you so much, honourable members. Thank you so much, honourable member, mover of the motion. I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this honourable assembly do adopt the resolution on the government to amend the 1997 Constitution and provide a quota system that will enhance women's participation in leadership and governance in the Gambia. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. On that note, may I now put the question, be it resolved that this August Parliament do stand adjourned until Tuesday, 31st October 2023. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 31st October 2023 at 10 a.m. sharp.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, Takaful Fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Agada.
Mbijan raganya.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyinji.
Okay. Korsa. Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. Agada.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariaka.
Bare
mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka.
Jannom Yona Forest de Bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe.